1957 uprising and the lesser known aspects of the uprising. When we talk about the uprising, the biggest question that people start debating on is whether it was a mutiny or was it the first war of independence. Well, today we will not get into that kind of debate. We will not get into that kind of questioning and answering and reasoning. We'll try to ponder upon what was the incident that sparked this whole uprising. Why did this battle happen, whether it was the Battle of Independence, whether it was mutiny against the British by their own soldiers, what exactly it was. So I'll not waste much time. I'll request Mr. Nilesh to start this presentation.
Good evening, everybody, and a warm welcome. Thank you all for coming. It's very inspiring. Let me start by a couple of caveats. First of all, may I request you to switch off your phones, either in silent or vibrate mode, because obviously it will disturb my thought flow. Secondly, I am by no stretch of imagination a scholar. So what I am is just an amateur enthusiast like you all, and I'm sure there are many people here who are much more knowledgeable on the subject than I am. But when I read about this, about the uprising, what struck me was that there were so many things that had been questioning. I was myself questioning when we were taught in school or we learned about it later. What is it that really happened, and what were the reasons? For example, why did the mutineers had to bite the cartridge to put it after understanding a weapon? What was it that really had to make them? So we'll dwell into those aspects. And finally, if you have any questions, I request you to keep it till the end, so that then we can have a nice half an hour discussion. I'm not promising that I'll be able to answer all of your questions, but definitely it will be good to hear your viewpoint and give across what I have understood about the. So let's start. So what will we cover in the next whatever time we have? We'll cover technology. How is it that the British had something more than the Indians, the mutineers or the Sipahis which saved us? So the electric telegraph saved us. This is a chapter in one of the books. It starts off with this. We'll talk about that. Let me dwell upon it right now. You see, what happened was, as soon as the uprising started in Meerut. Now, coming back, I am assuming that you are all quite familiar with the uprising, with the events that occurred, right? I mean, is there anyone? Otherwise, we'll have to make a small summarize it and then go ahead. Okay. And finally, we will delve upon this only about the events that took place in Delhi. As you know, the major aspects of this uprising took place in Lucknow, Kanpur, and it went on even up to 1858 when the Rani of Jhansi and all that happened. But we'll only talk about the 4 months from May to September, and since we are all from Delhi, I think it will help us to understand and relate to the events much better. So we'll just restrict ourselves to that. So as soon as the events took place in Meerut, the British actually telegraphed Peshawar, Ambala, Jalandhar, and they were able to take a lot of preventive action that actually saved the mutiny from spreading in the Punjab. And that is the electric telegraph. They had that. We didn't have that. The Indians didn't have it. Then the alienation of the company offers from the native soldier. It was a big aspect that the officers were not getting. And why did this happen? We'll see. The quality of the officer, the certain other aspects. So what exactly did the soldiers have to bite the greased cartridges? Now here, थोड़ी सी बाल की खाल उतारेंगे. We will go into nitty-gritty details because that it is important to understand. And then, as it is, as you know, events revolve around personalities. It's how personalities decide, how they appreciate the situation, and their courses of action, that then the events play out accordingly. So we definitely look into some of these personalities who had a major impact on the course of action that happened. Then how the siege of Delhi was awaited by other characters who really had their own agenda and had nothing to do with the uprising. As you know, when we see the map, you will see that it wasn't really a siege. A siege is when you have actually surrounded on all four sides and you are pretty much localized, no logistics are coming in. But if you see the map, you will see that the British were only on the ridge, which is generally in the area of Bada Hindura Hospital and the North University campus. And there were only about 6,000 of them at any given time.